Have you ever been in a losing position and had this thought? If it only gets back to break even, I'm going to close out the trade. You're not alone. Lots of traders have that mindset. Like this trade here. Maybe you bought the dip, thinking support was going to hold. It didn't, so you got frustrated, but then it did, so you were fine with being in the trade. Then the big sell-off. This back and forth movement really messes with investors' minds. So when price was down to $110, you might have said, if he goes back to my break even, I'm going to close out of the trade. What if there's an indicator that shows you where other investors bought into their trade? It lets you know if they're happy with their trade or if they're ready to sell. And that's why today we're going to talk about volume profile. Welcome to Stock Charts Trading, where we give a weekly review of indicators, showing you all the tips and tricks for successful trading. If you're watching this real time, thank you very much. If you want to be part of the live trade setup, then click here. Or stay connected with YouTube, getting our delayed version where you can back test all of our videos to see if they're profitable or not. Now the volume profile. We're going to be using thinkorswim charts. thinkorswim has a great learning center, giving you a description and parameters of how to use each study. Quick review, volume profile represents the study of the actual time period of your chart, giving you the specific price levels with the highest volumes. The width of the horizontal histograms gives you the representation of the amount of transactions made at that price level. The longest row will be the highest volume level. Another thing that we're going to talk about today is point of control, the average of all of the midpoint range. The study is set to the default price range surrounding the POC, point of control, where 70% of trading activity took place. This is called the value area. Now to the charts, click on the studies beaker, scroll down till you see volume profile, double click on that. It'll automatically come up. If you want to change anything, double click on the studies. You have 3 global areas, point of control, profile, and value area. On plots, you can also make the point of control outline bigger or smaller, or change the color, along with profile highs and lows, and value area highs and lows. Now back to the original chart where we talked about getting in, and you were happy when price went up, but really upset when price went down. The blue line is the point of control, meaning it has the heaviest amount of volume at this price level, 142. The 2 pink lines are the value area, representing the 70% volume happened with inside this range of the price chart, and the point of control being the most volume on this price chart, which is currently saying most traders in this stock are at break even, which is interesting because we see the resistance right here, horizontal and also diagonal, indicating a strong point of control for sell-off. Instead of marking a chart, support and resistance, where you're getting in, it's better to do it by the point of control for support and resistance. When you see charts like this and the point of control is low and the price is much higher, that means traders are happy. They're making money, not ready to sell. Same is true with undervalued stocks. Most investors entered right here at $150. They are really upset that price is down, but when there's thin volume, there's a consideration of a reversal. Of course, you want to implement some other strategy of a breakout before buying in, because thin volume alone isn't an indication of support and resistance and can happen multiple times before reversing. That's why we like using support and resistance channels to identify potential turning point. You can read more about that in our blogs. The way I typically trade is on a short-term basis, 45 to 60 days. The first thing I do is find the direction of the trade. And today, the way we're going to do that is we're going to look at the VVIX 2-year 2-day. The VVIX is like the VIX, but it measures the volume of the VIX. So it prints on the charts a little bit differently. For the last 2 years, you can see that this has gone sideways, giving a nice support and resistance area, which on the VIX, same time frame, went down and now is starting to rising up. It also did the same thing with the highs, went down, made this low area, and now is starting to rise, meaning volatility is getting more fierce. We're going to go over lots of strategies about the VIX, so stay connected. Now back to the VVIX. I'm a directional trader. I don't care which direction. If the VVIX is above the $120 mark, I'm looking to buy. That's why I highlighted it green. If the chart is below the $120 mark, it's red, and I want to sell short or buy puts. Here's the saying about the VIX. When it's high, you better be ready to buy. When it's low, watch out below, meaning it's about to go down. That's why we sell. As you can see right now, we're pretty low. Actually, the lowest level we've been in 2 years years. What else do we have? Support, support, support. We have a diagonal line of support, meaning I think this is going to turn very quickly. So now that we know we're shorting the market, the next step is looking for downtrends, down trades. For that, we're going to use multiple bearish flags. We have the divergence indicator, the trend indicator, and the volume profile indicator. Let's backtest these indicators and see what past results were so that we can understand how to trade them today. Here's Wolf, 2-year, 2-day. The trend indicator is going down, had a nice flag pattern close to resistance, and look where it was on the volume profile point of control. When price was down here, the investors were saying, if I only get to break even, I'm going to sell my position and close it out. Sure enough, that's exactly what happened, and price went down 40%. Great place to take a trade. CRM, 2-year, 2-day, we can see that the trend indicator is going lower, so it means downtrend, down trades. Seeing where the point of control on this volume profile was played a big role in the resistance of this stock going lower, in the tune of 30%. Here we are on tan, trend indicators going down. We can see price came right up into that point of control again, then sold off lower. What do you think if it comes back up into that level is going to happen? Me too. I think it'd be a great place to short the trade. LUV pointing down, 2-year, 2-day. We can see here, point of control, price went down 22%. Outside value area resistance, price moved lower by 15%. So what do you think is going to happen right now? That's right, it's going to have a big sell-off. HON, we can see that the trend indicator is pointing lower, downtrend, down trades. We can already see that there was resistance at the profile indicator, pushing price lower of 10%. If price came back up into that resistance level, we definitely want to short here. TJ Maxx, this is why we use multiple indicators. You can see the divergence right here gave a nice signal. W pattern gave another nice signal. Trend indicator gave another nice signal. And we can see the volume profile had good result, telling you to short the stock while it was in the higher zone of the trend indicator, pushing it down 21%. Looking for some resistance, we could use this support line, drawing in the channel, which confirms with the trend indicator and very close to the polynomial point of control. Great place to take a trade lower. SGEN, 2-year, 2-day. We highlighted this trade last week and had pretty good results, not realizing that price was right up against that volume indicator, pushing it down 10%. We're still bearish on this trade. Of course, you have 45 to 60 days in your time frame for it to work out, so be patient. We also highlighted R, not realizing that it was at the volume profile value area resistance. Right now, the trade's already 10% lower. Found a little support here at the point of control, which is common, but we're going to be patient waiting for it to come down to the other lower value area, which confirms where price has been before. CLX, 2 years, 2 days, and we see that the trend indicator is going down. We said this was a great place to take a trade, showing a heavy resistance area of this old support line, and not realizing that the volume profile also showed it as a nice resistance level. We've already been able to take some profits as this moved down 16% lower. We are anticipating for it to go even more and making bigger profits, at least down to the support line of $125. TRMB, downtrending, looking for the point of control and its effects on stocks. We could see that price came up into this point of control and sold off over 18%. So if price comes back up into this resistance area, we'd be able to expect that it would sell off also, at least down to these lows, maybe even lower. Verizon, 2-year, 2-day, using the volume profile and the trend indicator really make a difference in your trading success. Trend indicators going down, point of control, a small divergence, and price sold off over 16%. And those are the trading results we want you to have using the trend indicator and the volume profile. So now let's look for some trade setups that you'll be able to trade. Please use proper money management or paper trade to get the best results. In light of Verizon, let's look at T, 2-year, 2-day. You can see the nice bear flag pattern right up against resistance. We also have divergence, trend indicators going lower, old support becomes new resistance, and of course we have the volume profile showing resistance. Great place to take a trade. Based off the little trick we showed you last week of making targets, take from old highs to lows, duplicate those lines over, giving you a timeline. This says early August for your option, making this support level your target of $17. NTES, 2-year, 2-day, trend indicators going lower. If you take from two previous highs before, draw it in diagonally, you'll see you're coming right into that resistance area. A confirmation that this trade's moving lower. You have a high, lower high, which will also add to your resistance. Currently, we're against the high side of that value area, showing resistance. Another way you can look at it as diagonally, old support becomes new resistance. Take from previous highs down to lows, move them over in anticipation. You'll get the same result, showing price will come all the way down to the 70 level, but taking all the way till August. Looking at the volume profile on Monster, we can see resistance is confirmed with the trend indicator, which is pointing lower. Using these support levels, we have a resistance its channel high here, giving us a nice little range in anticipation for this to turn and go lower. Draw from your highs down to your lows. You might want to use this bottom candlestick instead of this one just to give you a little bit less time and demand of the stock movement, which brings it close to this support level and confirming that you would definitely hit this support level here for a nice target. Using multiple runs lower, you can see there's a possibility that this wouldn't work out all the way till August. So be mindful of that. IP, the trend indicator is going lower, downtrend, down trades. Volume profile, point of control right near that resistance area. Nice divergence indicator showing lower pressure, kind of like it did here. Even candlestick price action showing resistance. Great place to short a trade. First target would be this center line, which lines up with this horizontal bounce off old price action of $40. CASY, trend indicator going lower. Value resistance area for the volume profile. Enter into the trade lower. Use the mid support line for resistance to take your first profit target, or allow price to come all the way back down to the support level of 175, which is also verified by the support of the volume profile. VMW, trend indicator going down. Volume profile value area showing resistance, just as the highs of these candlesticks, also confirming resistance. Great place to short, take from your highs to your lows, draw your lines out to get both the time target and the value target of this trade setup. Obviously, these two are pretty quick, showing a July expiration back down to support. That might be a little aggressive for me. We have a midline target showing that it will happen by September, giving you plenty of time for price action to move back and forth before hitting your target. EA, trend indicator going down, downtrend, down trades. Price action in the candlestick showing resistance. Point of control showing resistance. Great place to take a trade lower, back down to $115. UVV, this is why we don't trade the bearish flag in an uptrend. Yes, it comes back down to support levels for targets, but doesn't yield much profit. Always use the trend indicator when using bear flags so you know not to take these trades. Obviously, you want to take a bear flag at support either. Be careful to understand where the bear flag is showing you to enter the trade. We always like to take bear flags at resistance. And as you can see, the trend indicator is going lower than this horizontal support line, which means that the trend is going lower, making this a great confirmation of a shorting opportunity, along with a divergence. And in this case, the value profile is a little bit lower, meaning that we should expect that price would pull back to the point of control, then continue lower down to the lower value area, giving it a nice support. UTHR, you can see lots of bear flags showing a nice resistance line up into the trend indicator resistance, along with the volume profile resistance. Perfect place to short the trade, back down into support. I hope learning all of those tips and tricks today for the volume profile will really help you make lots of money in the market. If you're watching the delayed version and you like the results of success that we had, then go to Stock Charts Trading and join our indicator alerts weekly, and there is a subscription, but you can cancel anytime. As you can see, the results are worth it. As always, I wish you the best success in trading.